What were you saying?
He just sank.
Sank. We
Welcome,
sank.
welcome to insert. Again, that's twice in a row. That's center
Tom
camera.
just got done with our Uber show. If you've not seen that, what are you doing?
I don't know. I'm gonna have to slouch so we're all on the same level.
No,
Am I even on the?
No, that's the thing,
dude, you're like taller than
tall,
both
but
of
then
us.
but then tall people we tend to slouch. So.
I know.
Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of Nuts Around Table. You might recognize Tom from Airsoft Obsessed.
Because
he's obsessed with Airsoft. And we're all wearing the same clothes that we were wearing in the previous Nuts Around Table because it's not very often that we get to see Tom. And so we figured while he was here, we'll do an actual for reals Nuts Around Table.
No,
and
that other one was real.
Very real.
You guys know how we do it here. You submit questions to the previous video. Those are going to go in our helm of reasoning, and then we do our best to answer them in a very, very opinionistic way.
Opinionistic.
Very biased.
Yeah, very biased. Anyway, so it's by tradition. Would you like to start us off?
I would love to. Thank you for that lovely intro. First question from Evan Hunter Linville. Have you ever had a time in game or at an airsoft field where you have had to improv? Forgun my functions or lost/missing gear?
I think we just talked about your improv last week, Matt.
Yeah. Well,
I feel like I had to improv to get through that question.
Oh.
A little bit.
Oh.
Ouch.
Okay, so when your gun goes down and you have to improvise, is that what we're assuming the question's about?
Yeah,
or?
I guess.
Just kidding, Evan.
We've all,
Hunter
I think
Linville.
all of us, have you ever surrendered somebody when your gun wasn't actually working?
Absolutely. I think that's the ultimate improv is when you run out of BBs, your gun just stops working for whatever reason, and you're like, well, I don't really want to walk out just yet, so let's see if we can surrender people.
Did you ever get so heated you want to throw a gun at a player?
Whoa.
That's a pretty intense question, and I'm prepared to answer
That's
it.
why
Absolutely.
he keeps a boomerang in his gear.
Boomerang.
Absolutely, yes. Have I done it? No.
Yet.
But sometimes you get out there and you're maybe taking things a little too seriously, and you get upset, and it's embarrassing because you lose your cool.
I don't think I could ever see you losing your cool. You're always so pleasant.
No, I have an unpleasant side to me.
I don't believe that.
Generally, when I wake up from naps, like 45 minutes after I take a nap, I'm pretty unpleasant. So
Good to know.
write that down.
Totally going to
If we're going to go to an event with him, he's just like, guys, I'm going to go take a nap. Just steer clear for like 3 hours.
Thunder Beer's room.
Post nap. Nope, no Thunder Bean.
Well, okay, so I had this time that I had to improvise. When we were at Red Storm down here in Southern California,
So
that,
three?
that was
Three?
it two or one?
One? I wasn't at one. I was at 2 and 3. Was it the first?
Wait, what's the one we're
What
going up to?
location?
That's 4. The one at the juvenile corrections facility.
Yes, there's
That's
been
2.
3 there. No,
Okay.
there's been 3 there.
3?
1, 2, and 3 were all at
Okay, so let's say 2. I think it was 2.
Okay.
So I was on the side next to the chain link fences. You come around and you're kind of like in the weeds, and there's those workout bars.
Yeah, because...
Okay. Doesn't matter. Anyway, the point is, I'm behind a tree. I'm laying down prone. My gun doesn't have the range it needs, but I happen to be laying next to another guy who's got a sniper rifle. He gets hit, and he dies, and so he pulls his red rag, and I'm like, this guy's dead. He can't be using his gun. So I was just like, dead guys aren't supposed to talk. But I kind of like motioned for his gun, and he just like kind of looked away, and so I grabbed it and started engaging people with his sniper rifle.
Is that considered cheating?
That's
I
not
don't
considered
know.
cheating. He's a dead man. You're taking a gun off a dead body.
That's what
But
I
did
felt.
you take it from him, or did he hand it to you?
He did not hand it to me. He
Okay.
looked away while I grabbed it off his dead
Okay,
corpse.
that's okay then.
There we
Yeah.
go.
And
So
then
he's
it was
handing
there
you, I
when
mean-
his dead body came back to life and walked back on the field. Then I could hand it to a live reincarnation of said Milsim dead player.
Milsim.
Keeping it real.
It's Milsim, bro.
Milsim, bro.
You're not Milsim enough.
George, do you want to grab or?
I already grabbed the
You already-
question.
you already got it queued up?
Wait.
Wait. We
Oh
got
no! Oh! I
Jumping the gun here.
Prepared, man. AJ Flacker asks, what is a microswitch trigger and what are the pros and cons of having one? It makes your gun awesome.
Get me more specific.
Is he talking about a MOSFET or a microswitch? Because a microswitch and a MOSFET are two different things, and I've heard from people that actually know about electricity that those microswitches are terrible.
I only have the MOSFET. I have these Blackdown Concepts, Spectre, and Chimera. And they
Right,
both
may I
are
see the
awesome.
question?
Yes, there's a question.
I think-
It does say microswitch, though, so you could be right.
I think the microswitch is like what they use in like 249s and M60s, the saws, and also I think some of the Ares guns use them in the M4s, where they make a little clicking sound.
Right.
And there's a lever, and you find them a lot in RC or.
So they're
I don't
not
know.
really
Well,
MOSFETs.
I think he
No.
may be referencing triggers that MOSFETs that have triggers.
So like the
the
Spectre
electronic
or
triggers.
the
So like the Chimera
Yeah.
would be I don't know if you call it a or a microswitch, but
So traditionally,
yeah.
traditionally trigger contacts work by having two brass pieces like so, and they're actually this way, but think top down, and then your trigger is actually connected to a
motion.
we're about to, a sliding copper
all
piece,
good.
and then there's a doop,
Yeah.
and as soon as those make contact, it completes a circuit
Like that.
like so. Yep. And then that completion of the circuit gives power to your motor through your battery and all that jazz. But with MOSFET, with a trigger, that turns it into literally just a button. So it decreases the chance of arcing, for the wearing down of those trigger contacts. It gives you a much more immediate trigger pull, so it feels more snappy. So there are definite advantages to MOSFETs with triggers. With regards to like the 249s and stuff that use micro switches and have no electronic control board, they just use a different type of contact. We've heard of them breaking down, I think, pretty regularly.
yeah, like where I've had one where you just plug in the battery and the thing's already been fused together and,
What?
and it just starts firing. So
Interesting.
yeah,
That's
yeah.
cool.
Not ideal. Not ideal. Especially
Matt.
when you're indoors.
Whose turn is it?
Now it's mine.
No,
I'm
it's
sorry for jumping the gun. Earlier.
It's okay. That was
It's not okay. All right. Cyfox
Long
asks,
question.
Dear Insert and friends,
All
Yeah,
right.
I don't like the long questions.
can we get a look at Roger or the set you're filming? I live outside the U.S., so it's almost impossible for me to visit your store. So after 30 caps of a great show, could you pan out what happens behind the camera? By the way, watching Matt dance with the Gypsy King's Bambaleo last chapter was hilarious.
I agree. I love looking at Roger.
Bambaleo! All right,
So,
well, Roger,
Can
you
we
want to come in here real
describe
quick?
Roger?
yeah, Roger,
No,
come,
let's
come
just-
on, come on.
just real
Come
quick.
on,
Roger,
Come
take
on,
your,
just
take your
come
hands,
in, wave real quick, and then go back.
Take
All
your
you have to do
beautiful
is just-
hands
you
off
have
the camera.
You have the stationary camera. Just come over really quick. It'll take a minute.
The back of the studio.
You
No,
got
okay.
You got a
Oh.
face that was made for.
There we go.
They're not gonna be able to see.
It's all
completely
black.
dark.
It said- no, okay,
Yeah.
so come on, so they can see you.
They gotta
There's
see
the
you.
camera.
Come on, real
Come
quick.
on,
Roger,
Roger.
when Evike Matt tells
Don't
you
make this
to
awkward.
get in front of the camera, you get in front of the camera.
You're making this very awkward. All these people are
Really?
watching this going, where's Roger?
Nice how you saved
Thank
yourself there.
Come on,
No
real
bleeps
quick.
today.
Roger, please, dude. I'm
Roger.
asking you,
Hold on.
Right
Say
here.
it, and I'll slowly.
Roger. I'm asking you, man, from right here. Come in front of the camera.
This is getting real ugly.
Actually, you
Real
guys have
fast.
seen Roger, that really legit tier 1 operator currently on our Evike store page. Is that
Actually,
gentleman.
if you want to see a great picture of Roger, go watch Node's version of Trouble in Terrorist Town. They have it up. There's his little avatar photo.
Can we get a screenshot?
Yeah,
of that?
I'm gonna put it
Look, if
right
you don't
into
wanna
this
come
video.
in-
Yeah, you're not gonna put it in. It's gonna
We're
go.
just gonna
No,
put a
it's too
picture
late.
of you.
No, you're too late.
No,
man.
don't make this win. No, come back.
Don't hurt yourself.
Don't
Please
hurt
come in.
yourself or
Just
the
come
camera
wave real
equipment.
quick.
Just
come
come
wave.
on over.
I'm gonna put the picture in there anyway. This is Roger.
So this is Roger. He's the one who gets our awesome footage for all of our This Is Airsoft stuff,
Roger.
and also
I would
makes
like
us
to
not
make
look
things
like
difficult.
complete idiots on camera.
I'd like to make things difficult for Matt.
Thank you.
It's fun to make things.
It's all-
Roger
Always
is
a
a
struggle.
worthy adversary when it comes to the game of ping pong as well, table tennis.
Yeah,
He's also a pretty damn good airsofter when he's not filming.
when
when he wears the right uniform.
Ooh,
Just kidding. Anyway,
awkward.
No, that
Yeah.
gold one. That's
Am I up?
Yep.
yeah, you're up.
You already. What if I wanted that one?
That was his
That was
question.
mine.
Do you want to answer this
No, I
question?
don't.
What if I want that one?
You got a short one. I like
This is a
short
good
ones.
one. This is a good one.
Okay.
On Target 1911 asks, how long before you can grow real beard? Well, on Target
is
1911,
he asking?
let me explain how things work.
You can get a pretty epic beard, I imagine. I can
Once
get a
you
pretty
reach
epic
around
beard.
the age of 12 to 13, things start changing. Things happen. You'll start
That's-
noticing hair where there wasn't hair before. And before you know it, you have a full beard and your teachers are asking you to shave because you're violating school dress code.
Really?
Really.
Jeez, I feel way behind.
Science.
This is
Because
as
you're-
full as
'cause-
it gets.
Yeah, I know. Your beard isn't as cool as all three of us in this room could easily grow a better beard than you.
Yeah,
Not
I
even
don't-
trying.
It's
I
not a
don't-
terrible beard,
No,
though,
it's
man.
not.
I've seen worse beards. My
Oh.
brother, God bless him, I love him to death, but he grows like in patches.
Oh yeah.
So he's a no beard guy.
Mine
Yeah.
just doesn't get.
Rogers,
like,
as you see, was really epic.
Mine doesn't
Rogers
get-
has a lot of volume. It's
Yeah.
very voluminous.
It's kind of cool when he gets like chips stuck in there and food and stuff. It's kind
Yeah.
of funny.
The after meal.
You never have
beard.
to ask him what he ate for lunch. Is what we're saying.
I'm storing it for winter.
Oh wow! All right, I'm gonna. This one. It's half open.
That's the next room where we'll have to start. Shades has superpowers. Roger can keep anything in his beard.
Okay, love it. Nolan Printy asks, "Hello, Knots Around Table. Do you prefer a small game with a few of your close friends, or a game with tons of people you don't know?" I like smaller game. Like if I think a smaller game usually can be a lot more fun. Maybe 20, 30 people you all know. But a good AO always helps. But sometimes you can't get a cool AO without large numbers.
I've personally played some games with smaller numbers, but I know the people playing. I'm friends with them. We've been playing together a long time. I generally find those are my favorite games. I've been to several large ops, tons of people, even with a cool AO. The game sucks, and you're like, well, that's a bummer.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna go with small games, close friends, especially if George and Evike are there.
We haven't played with you yet, though.
I know, right?
We
gotta
gotta
make that happen.
We
Yet.
gotta make that happen.
Yet.
Keyword yet.
We're gonna come up and go to GamePod, and we're gonna go to what's that one?
Yeah, and bug
Let's
Dave
do that.
when his ankle's better.
Let's do that. Dave will be there.
All right.
And then,
we'd like
and
to
then
see
you
you.
can come.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that'd be good.
We'll have all of us.
It'd be a party.
They don't have any holes in the ground, so it
Can
should
Roger
be okay.
come
still.
with us?
You hear that, Dave?
No holes, Dave.
No holes for you to break your ankle.
Rest up. Get some ice on it.
I like. Well, I'm an indoor. I mean, I've always been an indoor player, so I like smaller environments anyway. But even bigger games. See, like you don't feel as bad when you accidentally lay into somebody if you don't know them. As kind of d-bag as that sounds, like everybody makes mistakes on the airsoft field. So maybe you hold the trigger a little too long, or you come around a corner and get somebody underneath, under the limit of range for close quarters stuff. And when you're really friends, it's not as big of a deal. Like because you're friends, you don't get upset with each other. Yeah.
And you don't get into heated arguments. Well,
Or you do get upset with each other, and then it just gets awesome because you punch each other,
get a fight,
Yeah.
get kicked out.
don't have vests on, shoot each other with no shirts. Everybody leaves bleeding. It's a good day.
Yeah.
That never happens.
Yeah,
Whose turn is it?
it's your turn.
Is it my turn?
It's your turn.
Okay. Sleeping Tree. Oh, Sleeping Tree asks, question for you fine gentlemen, or lady, if there is one present. There is not.
Not. Thank you.
Are spent CO2 cartridges recyclable, or do you just throw them out?
I just throw them out.
I think as most airsofters, just dump them on the field.
I don't think.
Don't
they're-
do that.
I don't think they're recyclable, are they?
I don't know the answer to that question.
Me neither.
If somebody does know the answer, comment below because we're all
Please.
actually a little bit curious.
Well, none of us use CO2.
I generally
use CO2.
I do use CO2, but I generally just throw it in the trash. I do not litter because littering is for jerks.
Thank you. Would you like to pick another question, Tom?
Yeah, I would. I'm gonna reach into the helm of reason here. And Mark Nowak asks, "Dear Matt and George,
And you.
And guest.
and guest assumed, implied, would you rather have a high-end spring sniper or a high-end gas sniper? Both of them have some really strong pros and some pretty jarring cons. So I'd like to hear it from the guys that know best."
Wow. You're putting a lot of pressure on here.
Would be you
I have
two.
never played with a sniper rifle, period.
Well, I've got an answer for
Oh, no,
you,
I take that
but
back. I have played with a cheap sniper rifle once.
What do you say, my friends?
The question is not about cheap sniper rifles, it's about high-end
High-end.
snipers.
I've never
Sniper
played with
rifles.
a high-end sniper rifle. I've shot a high-end gas. I think it was yours, or
Maybe. I don't remember. You might have.
I think I shot it.
I
I
think you
don't
might
know.
have.
I never used it in game though.
No.
I've never seen a sniper rifle ever be that useful. To be honest with you.
Boom.
What are you talking about? Route 66. It was freaking godly.
Yeah, George, Route 66.
Anyway, what do you think?
I think that a high-end designated marksman rifle with semi-automatic capabilities would be the best of everything. But
Okay.
since that's not part of the question, I'm going to go with a gas. Well, it depends. It always depends, you know?
Temperature.
What's the weather like? What's the weather like where you're at? Are you in Southern California? Gas is great, and I would go with gas. Are you on the East Coast? Gas, not so great.
Okay.
Spring.
So, yeah.
You're going to want to think about spring
Yeah.
for that. The problem with spring, I think, is they're a lot more work.
Oh, yeah.
There's a lot, just not only in the force required to pull the thing back, but just in the amount of tuning that is required versus a gas where it's still some tuning, but I don't know.
That works.
I don't really know if that answers the question, but
I'm with
it
you.
all depends. Gotta look at
Semi-automatic.
where you're at.
I mean, like we have a real sword SVD that we use sometimes in the marketing department. It's been here a long time, and that thing is really accurate, really effective.
I have both in one platform. I took a spring-powered VSR10. That's a spring power, okay?
Tokyo Marui?
Tokyo Marui.
Okay.
And then I upgraded the trigger to the Lilacs the PSS10 trigger, so it has the adjustable trigger pull. Now, what that does is it allows me to change out the bolt relatively quickly. I take off the stock, and I can change out the whole system. So what I did was take the King Arms gas cylinder conversion kit, which I think either Angel Customs has now, or I don't know if King Arms still makes it. But basically, it turns within the same profile, within the same size. You can turn a spring-powered shotgun into a gas-powered shotgun.
How about
So
a sniper
I have.
rifle?
I'm sorry. Sniper rifle. What am I talking about?
Stay
Shotgun.
on task.
Sorry. Shotgun. Okay,
Wow.
so my VSR10, it is spring powered, and I use the spring when temperatures don't agree, or I don't bring gas with me. I always have both bolts with me, and then if I need a little bit of extra FPS, or I've got gas with me in cans,
Round gas.
brown gas, then I switch to my gas system, and because it's so easy to change them out, I've always got both with me. So that would, I think, be the best of both worlds, maybe.
It would.
With that said, you're still dealing with a single action mechanism. So, it's not nearly as effective as a semi-automatic DMR. But that's what I would do. And to make it feel more realistic, I used that Great Stuff foam, and I put a couple 6-inch anchor bolts in my stock, and then filled it with Great Stuff. And then cut it off with a bread knife so it feels like solid.
little
the
more
stock.
sturdy.
Yeah.
Okay, we have a short question here. This shouldn't take us too long. What are the from Christian Anderson? What are the pros and cons of automatic feed mags versus wind-up feed mags? Obvious pro: you don't have to wind them.
Obvious. Obvious pro is obvious.
Yeah.
Is there a con?
To auto winding
Yeah,
requires a battery.
sometimes.
So
the PKM doesn't. I don't think.
Sometimes it'll connect. It'll run off the battery in the gun.
Yeah.
But if it doesn't, then you'll need like a 9-volt or a AA set of AA's or something.
Exactly.
Yeah. There you go.
I haven't ever been on the field and had one run out of batteries yet. So I don't know. I think the battery doesn't use a lot of juice. So
It helps if you remember the battery.
Yeah. Yeah.
We went to
If you
Broken
forget,
Home and
yeah,
took
yeah.
the stoner with us, and then realized that
I'm
we
sorry.
had no
That was
9
my
volt
fault.
in
I
our
thought
box
of
mag.
everything except for the 9-volt.
So I'm walking around asking people for a 9 volt battery.
And again, you got it. Can you pick the last question, Matt?
Yes.
Oh, it's been a long day.
has it?
Yeah.
Rick Hill asks, what is a good way to stop stalemates in airsoft games? I'm talking about when two teams post up apart from one another and just shoot without effect.
Glorious charge solves all problems. Right,
Yeah,
Matt?
it really does.
Except at Airsoft Nation.
Stalemates happen when people are unwilling to die. Right? I
Right.
mean,
Essentially.
because you want cover, because you don't want to get shot, because you've been tracking for 5-10 minutes walking, you don't want to go back to respawn right away. That's when stalemates happen, because no one's willing to push. The only way stalemates can be avoided is either game control moves the game around, and a good game control can sense when a stalemate's about to happen, and he can mix things up and shift things around. Or you get gung-ho players who don't care about getting shot, who push the game forward. Jet's a great example of somebody who gets stuff done. So he always tries to move his section of the game along. And that's why it's fun to play with him, because he has that mentality of just like, who cares? I'm going to get shot. Let's just get work done. And being more objective-oriented versus kill-oriented, I think, may help avoid stalemates. What do you guys think?
You pretty much just did all the work for us, I think, in answering that question.
Sorry.
I'm going to agree with pretty much everything Matt said. It
To the
really
T.
comes down to either game control or a very gung-ho person like the Desert Fox gentleman you referenced. I also noticed it sounded like you said mentality, which is kind of a fun word.
Did I say that?
It sounded like you said mentality.
Mentality.
Nice.
But yeah, you got to have someone who's willing to move. And why two teams would post up and not want to move, if I would have, I don't know. I don't know why you would do that. But if that is the case, somebody's got to move. So
Something's got to give.
Something's
Quote
gotta
that. What's that movie?
I already said Glorious
Jack
Charge
Nicholson.
at the beginning. So
This is true. Glorious Charge.
yeah, it's
Glorious
all about
Charge.
the Glorious Charge. So, all right, guys. Matt, close it out. I'm
Wow,
too
okay,
tired.
well, thanks for joining us again for this episode of the Not So Round Table. If you guys have any future questions, by all means, comment in the section below so we can cut those into strips. Then can go on into our helm of reasoning. It's always an adventure when people come visit. Doing
Yeah, we
videos
like-
by ourselves gets boring. So
You're
thanks for
welcome.
coming by.
Thanks,
Thank you.
Thanks
Thank
for
you
coming
for
by.
having me both.
Airsoft Obsessed. Check them out.
We'll put a thing.
We always put things.
Put a thing.
Yeah,
Please.
thing around its face.
Be
Right?
great.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
Oh, and then, we're already me back from Broken Home. But when this goes up,
You mean Red Storm?
yeah. Wait, no. Are we going to be back from Bad Blood by the time this one's up?
No, this is right before Bad Blood is when this will go up.
So,
See you at
we'll
Bad
see you guys
Blood
at Bad
next-
Blood.
This
He
Saturday.
won't. We will.
See you at Bad Blood.
Are you going?
No.
All right. Cheers.